Hi, and welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Debbie Lyons here today with Kelly Presnell, Director of PR and Marketing here at Hilton Head Hospital. And we have a great show today. I'm really looking forward to hearing from Angie Gillespie.
Yes, Angie is a breast imaging navigator. So she's a trained technologist for imaging and conducting mammographies. But she has taken on a role to help guide women through the process of breast health and the imaging side of things, whether it's for a mammogram, an ultrasound, a MRI.
Exactly.
Right, and she works with the physicians directly, Dr. Snyder, our breast imaging radiologist, and Dr. Ringer, who is our breast fellowship trained surgeon. It helps women through that process.
I think it's impressive. I'm really anxious to listen to her talk.
Yeah,
so stay with us.
Dr. Joyner. Dr. Joyner,
When you're sick and need to go to the ER, it's no fun to wait. There is a smarter way. Check in online at HiltonHeadRegional.com and skip the ER waiting room. Hilton Head Hospital, the smarter way to ER.
Pain. It can be different things for different people. A shoulder that takes you out of the game. A knee that stops you in your tracks. Ready to return to a better you? Hilton Head Hospital is here, right in the Lowcountry, to help heal what hurts. From diagnosis to treatment to full recovery, our fellowship-trained orthopedic specialists are committed to getting you back to your best. Hilton Head Hospital. Extraordinary care right here at home.
We are back here on Healthy Living. I am here today, as Kelly said, with Angie Gillespie, and you are the imaging navigator at Hilton Head Hospital here. And we're in the Bluffton campus today for breast health for the Women's Center. I'm really excited to talk with you.
Thank you.
I am curious as to what an actual breast navigator, imaging navigator does.
A imaging navigator is someone who is responsible to make sure that someone that has a bad mammogram has directions before they leave. So if they have a mammogram and then they have to come back for additional imaging and say the doctor maybe needs to do a biopsy on them, we contact their physician to make sure we can schedule the biopsies.
Okay.
And then we walk them through the process, what's going to happen, when they need to come back, when they're going to get their pathology results, and what to expect, at the next section.
So basically, I'm not left alone sitting in a room saying, oh my goodness.
Right, no. We are there to hold your hand the whole time. Mainly, it's just to make sure, that the patient has that direction, to know that they've got something that, instead of just sitting there wondering, the unknown is so scary for patients.
And I think when you hear news that your mammogram perhaps isn't what it was supposed to be, my listening ears shut down, frankly. I start getting selective, and I'm either going to over-dramatize it or not hear it at all. So that probably makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think just explaining it to them, what they have to do, what we have to do, what medicines they can take, they can't take, what happens after they have the biopsy, who actually gives them the pathology. If it was to be something positive, we don't talk too much about that until we know for sure what the results are, but just to give them an example of what their doctor will do, and that's to refer them to a surgeon. Majority of the doctors that we use here refer to Dr. Ringer, which is our new surgeon here at the Breast Health Center. And so, it just really is working more with the physicians and the patients and giving them that special attention that they need whenever they're have that anxiety.
Well, I tell you, if you haven't been out here, this is a great place to come and visit. We saw Dr. Snyder as we were walking in too, who does a lot of the reading of the imaging,
Mm-hmm.
and just everyone's very. Am I allowed to say user-friendly? They just seem genuinely interested and genuinely friendly. What I'd like to know is, take me through sort of the steps. I know you're accredited. The breast center is something that you all are very proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about the whole process, how the whole thing works, if you will.
Well, we are accredited and we're Center of Excellence. We're
Okay.
the only Center of Excellence that's in Beaufort County.
Oh, wow.
So we're very proud of that.
Mhm.
And then also the Breast Health Center is certified by the board surgeons. There's a name, I'm not real sure what the name of it is, but anyway, that's an important piece as well. But when a patient comes in, their doctor refers them for a screening mammogram.
Okay, so I go to my primary care doc, my OBGYN, my internist, someone like that, and over the age of 40, I am referred for a screening mammogram.
Once a year.
Okay, and that is to get a baseline?
No, you get a baseline at age 35.
Okay.
Everyone should get a baseline at age 35.
I didn't know
And
that.
then at 40, then you have your yearly mammograms.
Okay.
But if a patient has a family member which is prominent, like a mother or sister, that had breast cancer, let's say your mother had breast cancer at 42,
Okay.
you would start having your mammograms 10 years earlier, which is 32.
Oh, wow.
So then you would have one every year. And then, of course, it's just very important that people, do breast exams, because there are a few cancers out there that, like to fool everybody, and you can't quite pick it up on the mammogram. But you come for a screening mammogram if it's a routine.
Okay.
If a doctor has found something that needs to be a diagnostic mammogram, we do those as well, and then we'll follow up with ultrasound or MRIs.
Okay. Boy, I've got 4 questions in between that. So I have a screening mammogram. How is that different than a diagnostic mammogram?
A screening mammogram is just like when you go into your OBGYN for your checkup. So it's just a yearly checkup. So you go and you have your screening mammogram. We do same-day results. So
Okay. And what does that mean, and why is that important? And I already know the answer to that, because just the thought of waiting is
Right.
torture sometimes.
What we do is women that have their mammograms from 8 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon, they will come in, have their mammogram. We call them that afternoon. If they need anything additional, then we schedule it that day, and they have a plan of action.
Okay.
We call their physicians, get their order.
Is that
and
you?
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then once we do that, we give the patient an appointment. When they come back for the diagnostic mammogram, the doctor will speak to them and give them results the same day while they're
Okay.
here.
All right.
At that point, if they need an ultrasound, we do that then. Or if they need an MRI or something different, we'll get that scheduled. At that point also is when they may have an abnormality where they need a biopsy.
Okay.
So then that's where I come in again and take the ropes and take care of the patient, make sure they get a schedule, check their medicines, and then call their physicians.
Typically, what is and I know this is really not a very fair question because every single person is unique, but how typically does that work? Do you literally stay with me during the process?
I check on my patients periodically all the time. I mean, I have been prone to call them at 8 o'clock the next morning to make sure they're okay. And that's just how caring we are here at Hilton Head. Our technologists are great, and Dr. Snyder, of course, is great. And I just think that it's real important that a patient knows that someone's there that cares for them and is, concerned and wants the best for their well-being.
Talk to me about the breast center in terms of the flow of things. One of the things I noticed when we walked in was that it seems very streamlined. It's private but accessible. I'm pretty impressed with that.
It is. We do a lot of we have a lot of modalities here.
Okay.
It's not only breast. We do CAT scans, we do MRIs, we do nuclear medicine.
Oh, wow.
We do bone densities, we do regular x-rays.
Okay.
And then, of course, we do our mammography and our ultrasounds. But for the breast center itself, we have our locations at Hilton Head and then at Beaufort North. And then here.
Beaufort North, okay.
Right. So here, we still do the same thing we do at our other 2 facilities.
Okay.
But the patient, we
Gosh,
have.
I didn't realize there were 3 of them. Okay.
Right. So the patient comes in, has a mammogram, if it's an abnormality of some sort, and then if the patient's doctor refers them to the surgeons here, which is Dr. Ringer,
Okay.
then we can help them a little bit with already having reports of abnormalities or anything that they might need extra to kind of speed up the process of the referral process. Because their physicians have to refer to the surgeons, and if they tell me that's who they're referring to, then I automatically send everything to Dr. Ringer's nurse, which is Judy, or either her PA, which is Cecilia.
And Judy is the breast facilitator.
Right. She is the breast.
Is that what you call it, a facilitator? Or
She's the nurse navigator.
That's right.
Nurse navigator.
Nurse navigator.
For
That
the
was
breast
right
health
word.
center, and then
Right,
Cecilia
exactly.
is the PA for their facility.
And I tell you, I can only imagine. My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer a couple of years ago, and I sort of came with her through the entire journey. And I can tell you, it can be pretty overwhelming emotionally, let alone being able to hear and think rationally.
Oh, yes. And you know, the thing about someone getting diagnosed with it is they are just in shock. And then you have to have so many different things done to you before you can actually be like done with it.
Right, exactly.
And it's a whirlwind for the patients. You know, they have to go through extra imaging, blood work. There's so many different things they have to check before they have surgeries or therapies and different things. So you have a lot of people that come on board with it. When someone is diagnosed with a breast cancer and they're our patient, they're Dr. Ringer's patient, we always have a tumor board conference on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And so you have an oncologist there, you have a pathologist there, you have a radiation oncologist.
Oh, wow.
You have the radiologist, you have the surgeons, and then you have plastic surgeon doctors there. And we're all talking about the same patient, trying to see what the best care is for that patient.
We're going to take a quick break here on Healthy Living and come back with Angie Gillespie. And we're going to talk a little bit more about, I'd love to know about kind of the way that it's a very interdisciplinary, how that actually works and what that looks like. So stay with us. We'll be right back here on Healthy Living.
Pain. It can be different things for different people. A shoulder that takes you out of the game. A knee that stops you in your tracks. Ready to return to a better you? Hilton Head Hospital is here, right in the Low Country, to help heal what hurts. From diagnosis to treatment to full recovery, our fellowship-trained orthopedic specialists are committed to getting you back to your best. Hilton Head Hospital. Extraordinary care right here at home.
Hilton Head Regional Medical Center is located at 25 Hospital Center Boulevard. When traveling east on William Hilton Parkway, make a left-hand turn on Beach City Road, and the next left, Hospital Center Boulevard will be located just past the Hilton Head Library.
Coastal Carolina Hospital is located on US 278 at Exit 8 on I-95. Telephone is 843-784-8000. On the web, www.coastalhospital.com.
The vision for Hilton Head Spine Center is very clear. It's to provide world-class spine care to our patients.
Physical therapists were there. They were there holding you up. It's nice.
I just love working with all of these patients and their families and getting to know them and helping them on their journey.
My life is definitely better, and I'm glad that I came here to Hilton Head Hospital.
We are back with Angie Gillespie here on Healthy Living. I'm like, where are we? We're having such an intense conversation, and we'd like to have you join us with it too. It's really interesting. It's really, really fascinating. I'm going to go back quickly to the fact that you all have 3 locations. Let's talk, if we can, about Beaufort North. Pretty location.
Yeah, Beaufort North is our new location.
Okay.
We wanted to reach out to the women in Beaufort because we have a lot that come to Bluffton, and then we have a few that will drive to the island. So we actually opened that up, and we have a brand new hologic machine, and a bone density machine.
What did you call it? A brand new
Hologic.
Hologic.
It's a mammography machine, but it's a brand new Hologic. It's a 2D. It is a little different than the machines that we have here. It's more of an up-to-date.
Okay.
We can do some more things with that as time comes by.
Okay.
We are there at the Buford North office on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Buford. Okay.
And they can come and walk in anytime if they have a screening mammogram, or you do have to have an order for a bone density.
Okay.
But for a screening mammogram, you do not. We just need to know your physician's name, and you can walk in and also do a self-referral.
You can.
You can.
For someone who's never had a mammography, what should they be prepared for? What should they wear or not wear? Are there any kind of rules of the road to keep it easier, really, and more streamlined?
It's important that you maybe don't wear a dress that you have to take the whole thing off.
Okay.
Just from the waist up's all we're interested in. We ask you don't put a lot of powder on or deodorant.
Why is that?
It can do some false reports as far as like calcifications just from the flakes of powders or deodorants and different things like that. So really it's just that. We have some refreshing wipes if somebody, you can bring your deodorant with you.
Okay.
But, we'll make you wipe down a little bit before you have your mammogram. We have a soft pad. We use the soft pads on all of our mammography machines that it's just a little bit more, it's right on the plate where...
so it's more comfortable.
It is, and it's
where
not
the
as
squish
cold.
occurs.
Where the squishing occurs, that's correct. But it helps a little bit with the coolness, and people that are very tender. You have a lot of women that have a mammogram that is very uncomfortable, and then you have women that doesn't bother at all.
What typically are the images that a screening mammogram focuses on?
We do...
I don't know if that's the right way of even saying that, but...
Well, that's a good way.
Is that a good... Okay.
Yeah, normally we take 4 pictures,
Okay.
but we'll do 4 to 6 pictures.
All right.
So that's 2 pictures of each.
Okay.
You do have the compression on there.
Why is that so important?
The compression is very important, and women... I hope in time we'll realize that it's not anything cruel that we're trying to do, but your breasts sit 3-dimensional, and we're trying to see all 3 of those layers.
Okay.
And the only way to see all 3 of those layers is the compression. So as long as you have enough compression, that separates tissue out to where we can tell, if there's anything hiding behind some other tissue, or, to where the doctor can see it a little bit more focused.
Are there special areas or common areas that a breast cancer or something occur? Or is it just anywhere in the breast?
It can be anywhere.
So there's no typical. Okay.
You can have abnormal cells in your breast, just like you do in your cervix.
Oh, true. Okay.
You can develop just atypical cells in your breast as well. That doesn't ever turn into anything, but they don't know. And then, of course, we have the earliest of a breast cancer, and that's the type of breast cancer we like to find.
Yes.
Because it's very curable. And then, there are some advanced breast cancers, but we have a remarkable group that's here that, works with the women and the therapies and different things.
And that kind of brings us back to what we were talking about before, and that's kind of the interdisciplinary group that you have. Who is in that? How does all that work?
Well, we just have, I think that Dr. Ringer and them, their office started that, with the tumor board conference.
Right. And what does that mean, the tumor board conference?
It's just where someone has a positive mammogram, positive biopsy.
So I come in with a positive mammogram and a biopsy. Okay.
Then your doctor will refer you to the surgeon.
Okay.
Once you're referred to the surgeon, then that surgeon does a counseling with you and tries to find out what type of breast cancer it is, what caused the breast cancer, to know what type of therapy is the best for your survival.
Okay.
And then they will present it to tumor board, which consists of pathologists and radiologists and oncologists, surgeons, and all of the above, and they discuss each case of whoever the newly diagnosed patients are.
And they would discuss recommendation, pros and cons of different treatment interventions, etc.
That's right.
Okay.
If they need more imaging, if they need a PET scan, if they would recommend surgery first or chemotherapy first or radiation, just different things like that, whatever's best for the patient.
And I know we're focusing now on cancer and tumors specifically, but a lot of what you do also is just, again, help take us through the procedure.
Right. I mean, you have to go through a lot of procedures.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, that's just, a thing that a woman has to go through. And it's harder for someone to explain it to them when they don't know. But then they have a lot of support groups and stuff that are out there.
That was another question I was going to ask you, is if you are newly diagnosed or not sure about it, are there websites to go to? Or is there information? Is that part of, again, helping transition from the actual imaging into the treatment?
That is just part of the counseling for whoever the surgeon is that's actually, going to take care of the patient. They have a lot of different local groups and stuff that they refer their patients to. It can depend on, just their nationality. It can depend on so many different things that they have different groups for the patients. So, you could have someone that's Asian that's had breast cancer, and they could have a support group that supports just people that are Asian. So, there's a lot of different support groups out there for just different women in general.
One of the things that you said during the break that was really kind of interesting and fun for me was, and I'd love to have you talk about it, is your people, your patients are your people, your patients, and you sort of see them from the first day all the way through, and then some.
Right, yeah, you do. I feel it's just personal on my part to make sure that anybody that, has an abnormal mammogram feels comfortable at first. They know what direction they're going to. They know what's coming next. They don't have to guess or ask questions and stuff. And I've told all of the patients here that if they have questions, even when they get good results or bad results, they can call me anytime.
Well, let me talk about, let's say I do have a mammogram and it's questionable. Okay, that is when you would come to me.
Not typically, unless they have, Dr. Snyder has recommended a biopsy.
Okay.
That's when I go to the patients primarily.
Okay.
But if there are patients that get a lot of anxiety because they have to come back for additional imaging. And so sometimes I do, talk to that patient, calm them down. But, most of the time the technologists that we have are so good with the patients to where they have them calm down before they're in.
When you talk about having to have additional images, what does that look like or mean specifically? Because you said we have our 4 images.
You could just have some overlapping tissue. You could have some calcifications.
Dense breast.
Dense breast, yes. You can have something fibrocystic. Dense breast fibrocystic is the hardest.
What about implants? Would that be
They're hard. They're hard to get the tissue back behind the implant, to see and make sure you have all the tissue.
And I interrupted you when we were talking about dense breasts.
But yeah, the dense breast and fibrocystic is probably the most challenging for a radiologist, just because there's so many different things in there that you can miss just because it's dense.
What does that mean, dense?
Well,
good question, right?
Yeah. Well, when you're looking at a mammogram or a breast on the imaging, you have white tissue, you have gray tissue, you have fatty tissue. The white tissue from a mammogram is very dense tissue.
Okay.
Or it could mean a malignancy.
Okay.
So that's the reason why dense tissue can be, so unpredictable.
You talked. Oh, go ahead.
Then you have the fatty tissue, which is not fat.
Okay.
Women think when you say fatty tissue, they're fat. That's not it. That's the type of tissue you actually want to see because you can see through that tissue.
And I wondered about the little microscopic little dots sometimes that you see, little white dots.
The little calcifications, right. Actually, a calcification is a cell that's developed in the breast and it's died. And it's died in that breast, and it's developed the calcification because it calcified.
Hardened. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
So, but once you see those, sometimes they're completely normal. Sometimes they are the atypical cells.
Okay.
Or sometimes they are just the earliest of a breast cancer.
It's so interesting. We could keep you here forever. And I think the more we ask questions, the more questions there are to ask.
Right.
So thank you so much again, Angie Gillespie,
you're welcome.
for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all for joining us here on Healthy Living. Have a great day.